As a young girl, Anne Bokma followed a strict religion, one she describes as fundamentalism, eventually choosing to leave the church. But a couple of years ago, she found herself yearning for a more spiritual life. Spiritual, but not religious. An important difference we'll explain in just a moment. Her journey is laid out in the pages of My Year of Living Spiritually. It's a 12-month trip through goat yoga, gratitude apps, tarot cards, even magic mushrooms. Anne Bokma is here to share some of what she learned on that journey. Welcome to Your Morning.
Thank you.
This idea of being spiritual but not being religious might be new to some people. Explain that for us.
Right. Well, you know, I think we've known for a long time that people are leaving traditional religion. Only 1 in 5 Canadians attends religious services anymore, and 10,000 churches are scheduled to close in Canada. So people are leaving traditional religion, but they're still yearning for something else to feed their spirit. And there is this whole demographic known as spiritual but not religious, which represents about 80 million North Americans. And 40% of Canadians consider themselves SBNR, which is the acronym that's used to describe this group.
Spiritual but not religious.
Right.
SBNR, I love that. You did things, as we said off the top, like goat yoga, you did your gratitude apps, but one of the most moving parts is this journey of learning how to sing and then sing in a palliative care home.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us lose our singing voice, right? And singing is one of those sort of mystical experiences that we can have when we're singing in community with other people. It's
That's true.
deeply moving.
You sang all the time as a kid.
I did. We all do, right?
Yeah.
And then we stop and we become self-conscious. So I did experiment with a bunch of choirs, and one of the most moving ones was singing with a threshold-type choir at a palliative care hospital. People who were near the end of death, people who were had been kept alive on life support for years. And you know, we come into this world hopefully with someone singing us a lullaby, and I realized it's a beautiful way to leave this world, is someone singing to us. Singing is one of those profound, moving things that, you know, it really touches us deeply. And at the end of our life, I mean, what a beautiful way to go. And it was very, I had to keep leaving the room. I mean, it was really, I'd never been that close to death before, but it was also very beautiful.
You also did some more extreme things. What you would have described as extreme, being a young woman who grew up in a traditional church. You tried witchcraft, you tried crystals, you tried tarot cards. You actually tried magic mushrooms under the care of the nurse. Why that part of the journey?
Well, I wanted to really open myself up to the full experience. You know, there's this great quote from Emily Dickinson that the soul should always stand ajar, ready to welcome the ecstatic experience. And I wanted to have ecstatic experiences. So witch camp, you know, the mushrooms, those are some of the more extreme things I did. But I also did regular everyday things like sing more, a gratitude practice, go on a pilgrimage. The magic mushrooms, you know, there's a lot of studies that show that they can open us up to spiritual experiences. So I did do it under medical supervision. I told my kids, one of whom was disapproving, the other wasn't so much. And I could tell you it was an incredible trip. And, you know, the ego sort of disappears and answers do come to you. So it was a really beautiful experience for me.
A big part of faith for a lot of people is family. And you talk a lot in this book about your mom and then your decision to leave the church. And it's hard for a lot of people who don't want to leave their families and feel like they're being separated a little bit. Tell us about that journey and where things sit with you both now.
Right, yeah, that, you know, is sort of the backstory in my book. The book covers these, you know, 24 spiritual experiences that I engaged in or practices. But the backstory was leaving a fundamentalist religion, which was a very difficult experience for me. I was threatened with excommunication. My family felt I was going to hell. You know, there was a great unfraying of family ties because of my decision to leave, but I did have to leave. I don't think anyone should be coerced into belief, right? And yet we love our families, you know. Religion can create such a divide, and that's so painful, and yet there's this love for our family. So I tried to re-examine our relationship, try to understand my family better, and since the book is out, there's been a small, you know, opening to reconciliation. But I wanted to write the book to show people that it is possible to leave these kind of oppressive religious groups and find a different kind of spirituality to nourish our inner being.
Where are you at now that the project has wrapped? How are you feeling spiritually, and did you find ways to fill your soul?
I think I did. I mean, I'm no paragon of spirituality. You know, I can't read your aura or anything like that. But I think it taught me a lot. You know, I became more content. I sing more. I did change some major relationships in my life as a result of it. And I think I pay attention more to my life, and there's more authenticity now.
And thanks so much for coming in today. The book, again, is called My Year of Living Spiritually. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.